LinkedIn private mode. What is it? How can you turn it on? And should you even use it? To explain how LinkedIn private mode works, let me show you my profile views. So if I go to my profile and click on profile views, I can see everybody who's viewed my profile over the past 30, 60, 90 days. Now I like this because it helps me figure out if people are engaging with my content and who's checking out my profile. And then I could send them a connection request or a message to see if they need help with anything. But sometimes you want to use LinkedIn because you want to see what an ex-colleague is doing, or perhaps you just want to look at a profile without that person getting a notification. Enter LinkedIn private mode. Head over to account preferences, then head over to visibility, and you can basically customize what people see. So if I click on profile viewing options, I can pick from one of 3 different settings. So the default setting is your name and headline. And basically, if I click through to somebody's profile, they'll see my name and headline in their feed, and I'll get a notification that I've checked out their profile. Now, if I want to check out their profile, but I don't want people to know who I am, I can change this to private profile characteristics. And this will just simply give a vague description about who I am and where I'm from. So they'll know that somebody checked out their profile, but they're probably not going to be able to reach out to me or get in touch. And if I change this to private mode, it'll just simply go to anonymous LinkedIn member. Now, I'd actually recommend keeping your name and headline turned on because it's much easier to build relationships and grow a network if people can see who you are and that you're interested in building a connection. Now, suffice to say, the settings are the same for pages. So you can allow organizations to see when you visit their LinkedIn page. So you can turn this off or on. And I find if you turn it on, you tend to get more LinkedIn in-mail messages, whereas if you turn it off, you tend to get less. So currently it's turned to off for me. While you're here, I'd recommend checking out the edit your public profile option. So your public profile is basically what people see when they search for your name in a search engine. They don't have to be logged into LinkedIn to view all of this. It is on by default and I have mine turned on. But if I don't want my name to appear in search engines and I don't care about building my personal brand, I could just turn this off entirely. Or if there are specific sections that I want people to see and sections that I want to hide, I can turn these on and off. So I could, for example, turn off my articles and I could turn off my contributions, and it's going to reduce the amount of sections that appear here in the publicly or public section of my LinkedIn profile. You can also turn on or off your public profile for first degree connections for your network, for all LinkedIn members, and also for search engine. There are some other additional options that you may want to configure. So you can customize if people can see your email address, depending on their connection status to you. You can customize if people can see your connections, members you follow, your last name, your organizations and interests that you follow, page owners who have your data, your profile view in Microsoft applications, and so on. So basically I have this currently set to the default settings, so everybody can see my name and headline in LinkedIn, whether or not they're a connection. And they can also find me in Google search, and they can also see my connections. But basically, if you want to be more private, go in here and just turn on or off these to suit whatever it is that you're doing. Now, if you're a LinkedIn premium member, you can see who's viewed your account over the past 90 days. That's not possible if you have the basic version of LinkedIn. And in another video on the channel, I do a comparison between the free version of LinkedIn and LinkedIn Premium and explain why you may want to consider upgrading. Now, suffice to say, even if you're a LinkedIn Premium user, you will not see somebody's complete details here if they put on private mode. So as an example, this person here, who's an online marketing manager in the advertising services industry, has turned on private mode. So I know they've checked out my profile, but I don't know who they are. But I could search for this particular type of role and see what comes up. That's an overview of how LinkedIn private mode works. In short, I'd recommend not turning it on because you want to build your brand and you want to use LinkedIn to find clients or people to work with. But if you really are concerned with privacy, it is something that you can customize for your network, for your connections, and also for search engines. And this video comprises an entire playlist where I do a deep dive into how you can get set up on LinkedIn, create really engaging content, and use it to grow your business.